What's up, everybody? Get ready for another installment here at Blackstone Labs headquarters of Ask PJ Braun. This is one of our first episodes ever with a live audience attending in the room today. So we've got Coach K, we've got the Freak, and a special guest we haven't seen in quite a while.
Hi, Whitney.
Hi.
AKA Black Bombshell.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know if they have to be completely silent the entire time.
Well, this is what we're gonna do. Coach K and I have something going on together in the near future that I don't think we should talk about yet, right? Do you think so, Trevor?
No.
Leave it a secret.
Yeah.
Okay. Let them wonder.
Yeah, wonder.
You guys can wonder about it.
Wonder.
But we do have some stuff going on, so this is a little prelude to that, like the old Hondas. We are going to have Coach K answer some of the questions with me. Not by choice, I'd forced her into it, but she'll be good. And we'll see how it goes. We'll see if you guys want more of Coach K on here.
I'm sure if you're watching this on YouTube, you can already see that we are just picking out on multiple, 4 different containers of ISO cream. It's absolutely addictive, guys. If you haven't gotten onto the website and picked one of these up yet, there is not going to be any like ISO cream 10 codes for this stuff, but you can get to the website right now. They ship on Monday and Tuesdays.
Yes.
Mondays and Tuesdays.
Only Mondays and Tuesdays. That way they get to you guys fresh and frozen on the dry ice.
So just to be clear, that means you order on a Wednesday and it ain't getting shipped till next Monday.
Yep.
So.
But it ships in 2 days.
Yeah.
Last week you guys said it was the best podcast that I ever did. You guys thought I was very open in the beginning, which I was. And I talked about some personal stuff, which we don't usually do. And I do think that part of that was influenced by Euphoria, which I'm now going to take more of, since you guys liked it so much. So, getting high before the show.
That's right. Take Eufies, not roofies.
Mm-hmm. That is the best fucking saying ever. But you gotta learn first. You gotta learn where the saying comes from.
This damn ISO cream is so good.
I know. So, here, before we keep going, can you pass this over to Dane? Here, give him a little bowl. He's like my little son that I'm feeding.
Give
No, here, let me try.
Let me do the little airplane into your mouth,
Let me
Dane.
give a little bit to Dane, because BJ keeps throwing ice.
I want, Whitney needs to try that one too. She'll like this one the most. I know what you like over there, Whitney.
Can I mix it with like some Euphoria?
You can.
Bust open the capsule.
Well, oh, does anybody want any Euphoria besides
I'll have some.
You might not, if you just ate enough, you're not going to feel it. But give Dane some.
You only had.
How many are in there?
There's enough for a few people to get high. I usually don't get high on my own supply.
I'll just take the whole bottle.
Take 4, right?
4 to 6. I gave some out. So I bought like 20 bottles over to the Kava bar.
Is that too much, Dane?
The other night. And I handed some out to a bunch of the kids, and this one kid was like so high, it was awesome. It was hilarious. So he was like, what should I feel like? I'm like, you'll know when it kicks in. And then I'm like, I was actually talking about ketogenic diets, because that's like what I do everywhere. And like going over this like dissertation in the parking lot, and the kids are all like listening. And then all of a sudden I looked at the one kid, and he was like really red, and he was just going like this, like he was like smiling and kind of like nodding out. And I go, hey, feeling like Euphoria, huh? And he goes, yes. And I was like, do you like it? And he was like, uh-huh. And then he took 2 more, because he was probably assuming that'll make it even better, which doesn't always work, by the way. Sometimes it pushes you too far.
Yeah, it's funny, because we saw him the next day, and he was like, yeah, man, that shit had me feeling good.
Mm-hmm. He was loving it, so. We don't push the Euphoria a lot, but it is a great...
Because it sells itself, we don't have to push it. People that know.
Yeah, we don't really push anything. You know what, I'm moving around a lot. I hope I'm not fucking up my language. Excuse my language. All right, well, I'm supposed to go to the doctor in 1 hour, so let's start answering some questions.
All right. First question comes from Jupiter Meach. Says, I have a question. Please help, because I think he's just Googling and taking anything he finds. What's the best to use for a cut for my boyfriend? It's his first show. I guess he's doing the Ruby. He's going to be on Tren and Masteron for 12 weeks. But to cut, I suggested Winnie, Clan, and T3. I don't know if that's what a guy should be doing. That's just what I would do. You're knowledgeable on your stuff, so I thought I would ask you. For prep, he's also going to be using Epamorelin. Also, please help. I was thinking about not working with Muscle Tech anymore. When I met you at the Olympia...
Should all this be said with you already gave her Instagram name out?
Oh. I didn't know if it doesn't say anywhere not to include anything.
Keep reading it.
That's what most people say.
I might have to offer her a job no matter what by the time you're done answering this question.
Well,
Right.
She said, when I met you at the Olympia, I didn't really get to explain to you what we do for Muscle Tech, but I have a team of people that set up demos at the gym and give out samples, and in return, the clients leave reviews on some of the websites that sell Muscle Tech products, and we give them free bars or cookies. Because of the reviews we collect, around 50 to 100 per demo average,
That's good.
Muscle Tech comes up very high on the list of most rated products on sites like bodybuilding.com and Amazon. It's basically a marketing bribe. They pay my reps $2 per review and free products, and I was just curious if you wanted something like that one day for Blackstone. Just a thought, throwing that out there. I had Grayson working for me for a while, and he kills it. Anyways, that wasn't the purpose of this letter. It's basically the first paragraph that's important right now. Thanks, and I hope to see you in person one day again soon.
Okay, well, when you listen to this, please email me, pj@blackstonelabs.com, and hopefully I can give you a job to place the one that you're going to lose when Muscle Tech hears this. And I'm being serious.
What's up, everybody at Muscle Tech?
Yeah, shout out to Muscle Tech. Shout out to IFA. Don't sue me. Please. You guys probably have much better lawyers than I do. No offense, Zach. You're very good, but they are a humongous company.
You know Zach doesn't watch it.
Nah, he doesn't watch this shit. He frowns against this. So, you and your boyfriend are both somewhat right in what you want to do as far as your contest prep. I mean, realistically, you could do any kind of drugs you want for a contest prep. It's just a matter of how you're going to look in the end is always determined the most greatly by your diet. So I've taken D-ball all the way up to a show before, which most people would never do, but my diet was on point. So things like Masteron, Tren, Winstrol, Anavar, all these things that quote-unquote get you ripped, like nothing gets you ripped. It doesn't work like that. You can't just take something and get ripped. If you could, I would have already put it out through Blackstone Labs, and I kind of did with Trojan Horse. By the way, Trojan Horse 20.
Was it 20 or 10?
I don't fucking remember.
It's one of those ones.
At every show, people give us a hard time about not putting the codes out. And it's so hard to remember when you're answering a question to then afterwards be like, oh, by the way, we were just talking about Trojan Horse if you want a discount.
How are y'all going to give us a hard time if you are reprimanding us for not saying the code? You already know the code.
You already know the code.
You know the code.
Yeah, there you go. Touche.
Jeez.
So I'll let you guys know what I would always do for most of my male, since we're talking about a man here, most of my male competitors, when they were 8 weeks out, that's where all the fun stuff starts, and I would often add in Tren, Masteron, Winnie, Anastrozole, Proviron, sometimes T3, sometimes Clen. Those two, I think, really are not a necessity. Some people do very well with them, some people don't. But most guys are going to start about 8 weeks out running 100 milligrams of Tren, 100 milligrams of Masteron every other day. Here, give this back to Craig so we're not eating all this ice cream.
Oh. Thank you, sir.
I owe you one too. I'll give you mine that everyone's eating are probably mine anyway. They're probably not really nuts. So sorry that I'm getting off on the question and talking about ice cream, but it's just that good.
It's so good. I just killed an entire pint. I could easily kill 2 more.
So what? If your boyfriend is limited to what he can do and he's already got the stuff, I certainly wouldn't be running it for 12 weeks. That's an aggressive.
IV double check. Double check.
I'm gonna come back and tape it.
Okay. Sorry, just checking my IV. So that's an aggressive amount of time for stuff that's strong. It's a little bit on the toxic side. So 8 weeks out, you can really like crank all that stuff in. And I always tell people, can you push it to 12 weeks? Absolutely. But you know, you really don't want to stretch these things out, and they work fast too. So you can add in Anavar. Now, Anavar is something that can be run longer because there's no hepatotoxic or liver toxic side to it, unless you're taking massive amounts to it. So if you're taking 50 milligrams a day, which is a pretty solid men's dose, that's what most bodybuilders are going to be doing nowadays, you can run that for 8 weeks, 10 weeks, 12 weeks, no issues, and it'll help you a lot. But again, guys, nothing is going to make you ripped other than your diet. Would you use T3 and Clen to enhance the caloric burning? Yes. But the diet is the key to everything. Now, if you want me to just give you like a rough outline of something that would probably work for most people, 100 milligrams of Tren and 100 milligrams of Masteron every other day for the 8 weeks up to the show. Usually around 7 to 10 days out, I tell people just start banging it every day. Just cram it all in every day. You'll get really hard really fast at the end if your body fat is down where it needs to be. If you have access to Anavar, 50 milligrams a day for the last 8 weeks. If you have access to Winstrol, oral, 50 milligrams a day. If you're doing injectable, you can do 100 milligrams every other day. Guys, there's no such thing as oil-based Winstrol, so don't ask me when you get those. They're always fake. Proviron, I love. I would usually start that around 8 weeks out at 25 milligrams a day, and you kind of adjust that accordingly. T3, and Clen, I always try to get away with using that stuff as little as possible. So some people will need it 8 weeks out, and I always tell people start around 25 micrograms a day, assess how you're reacting to it after a week or two. You can start making little jumps if necessary. If you're making consistent weight loss, then don't jump up in it. You know, if you lose a couple pounds, don't just go up just for the sake of going up. Those are things where less is more. And again, you don't want to be on those things for long periods of time. I actually don't use Clen. My last couple shows, I didn't use Clen either. Have I used Clen before? Yes. Have I used it effectively? Yes. I just don't like how it makes me feel. Most of you guys do Clen wrong anyway. Have I used DNP? Yes. Do I recommend people do that? No. That's far more effective than Clen. And if you want something that's going to be effective all the time for most people, your ECA stack, I think, is the better way to go. And that's something that you can find the ingredients to online. Ephedrine was banned in the United States, but still can be ordered most places online. All the really good fat burners from back in the day had ephedrine in them. But 25 milligrams of ephedrine, a standard caffeine pill, which is typically 200 milligrams, a baby aspirin, which is 81. And if you want to really step it up, you can add yohimbine, which I don't like. I don't add the yohimbine to mine, but you can to yours. And low doses of anywhere from 2.5 to 10 milligrams makes a big difference as far as the fat burning goes. To me, yohimbine makes me feel cold. I don't like it. But there is a lot of science between how it enhances those other ingredients synergistically. So, you know, I'll tell you how to do all the drugs if you want to learn how to do the drugs. But if you're not going to get your diet in place first, then you're not gonna get the results that you want.
True. All right. Next question says, "Ask the Beast." Hello, PJ and fellow Blackstone Labs crew. Thank you for all your valuable information and awesome content you provide for your followers. You are a big inspiration. I'm currently 26 years old and have ran 3 cycles of Test E, D-Ball, and Tren E. My last cycle was roughly 1 year to 1.5 years ago. I have been off since. About 4 or 5 months ago, I started to notice my right breast itching and bothering me a little bit. Went to the doctor recently and was honest about my cycles. He concluded that it was GYNO. Is there a natural way I can get rid of it without having to turn to surgery? Sincerely, Rigo N.
Well, if your doctor didn't prescribe anything for you, he's an idiot. Because you should have been asking him this question, not me. Yes, it's obviously GYNO. This happens a lot to people that come off. They're always confused, they don't understand because they're off, but typically when you're off, your estrogen levels start to skyrocket. So, can you get rid of it? Your doctor should have prescribed you Arimidex anastrozole for it. I would say to take it 1 milligram every day for a couple weeks and see what happens. If it's not gone, then no, you need to have surgery. Sorry, it sucks, but your doctor should have told you that right away.
All right. Next one says, business related. Hey, PJ and Josh, I wanted to ask a business-related question. I own a marketing agency in Northwest Indiana that's grown to the point where I'm thinking about bringing on a full partner to help handle a lot of the workload and continue to grow everything that I've been doing so far. I had a few conversations with people who might be interested, but nothing where I'm sprinting off to my lawyer to get the paperwork drawn up. What do you look for as you added and removed business partners over the years? Is it personal chemistry, business acumen, or a mixture of both that helped you decide? Any tips? Thank you so much for doing the podcast, and huge props to Josh for killing it with Legion. Hope to join the ranks soon. Much love, Matt Barber. Matt Barber on IG. Thank you, sir. And if you're looking to join Legion, you can always just send over your Instagram and a couple photos of yourself and why you should be a good fit for Blackstone Labs over to sponsor at blackstonelabs.com, and I'll take a look.
Yep, send your girls pics too. So, much love to Josh, doing a good job. He's working very hard.
Only 4 hours of sleep the past 2 days due to the Legion, but that's all right.
That's why I don't give you a hard time when people say they haven't got their code yet.
You're still smoky then.
So, well, for starters, let's just talk about my opinion on partners at this point. If you can do anything without a partner, just do it without a partner. Number one, it's impossible to find another person that thinks the way that you do. Even if you're like, oh my God, we finish each other's thoughts and we're like soulmates. Like, it's not gonna last that long, no matter how good it is. And you also want to try to find a partner that doesn't steal from you, because I had one of those, and that wasn't a good look either.
Business partners.
Yeah, don't get a business partner or a life partner that steals from you. Mm-hmm. I had both. I had 2 of those.
Neither of them worked out.
No, they didn't work out. But guess who's still standing in the end? Me. The other ones are busy with the rest of those.
Sucking each other's dicks.
What are those fish that suck on the shit at the bottom of the river?
Oh, the little algae, little bottom.
What are they called?
Plecos, catfish, suckerfish.
Suckerfish.
I would say suckerfish. I wouldn't go as far
Suckerfish.
to call them a catfish. Some people like to eat those.
Suckerfish on sucker-free
Sucker-free
Sundays, Thursdays. So, yeah, don't get any of those. There are certain people that you will have a great bond with in the sense that their strengths are perhaps your weaknesses and vice versa, and you could bring a lot to the table because of that. Maybe you need a partner because you need an investor. Earlier in the days of Blackstone Labs was something that we got ourselves into with our first ever partner, who we eventually bought out for a great deal. Sucks for him. And then we got another partner who wanted to invest heavily into the company. He actually did bring a good amount to the table, and he is the reason why we have the call center, and the call center kicks ass. And then he was bought out by Jared, and Jared is the ideal partner in the sense that he manufactures all the products. So,
and he's Southern.
Yeah, he's a Southern.
If you're gonna have
he's a Southern gentleman.
You want to have a Southern gentleman.
Yeah, he'll fuck shit up though when it's necessary, and you also want that in a partner. You don't want the guy who's actually fucking things up. I had one of those for a while. Now he's busy fucking up other people's companies at Redcon. Snuck that one in there. Not that I need to. Boo. He'll cry about this to somebody. Yeah, PJ was mean to me on this podcast. They ripped my shirts at the show.
I watch it every Monday.
The best was that he complained about it to a certain somebody who he thought would yell at me, and the certain somebody was like, "Oh, go rip our shirts if it's that big of a deal." Awesome response. So I feel bad telling people to not have partners because there are good partners out there. Like I'm sure, like Coach K and I could partner up in some stuff and be great.
Are we gonna do something? What are we gonna do?
Figure it out. Do you have something that you want to partner up with me on?
Maybe.
What are you talking
Well,
about?
let me ask you this though.
You're talking to
So,
me.
because of his question, friendships, like bringing on a partner that's a good friend of yours, like would you recommend that? What if he has a great friend and he thinks, oh, we'd be great partners? Do you recommend that given what's happened to you? in the
No.
past?
I mean, it can work for sure, and there's lots of people that have made. I mean, look at Ben and Jerry did it. You know,
Could also destroy your friendship. I also heard there was a third guy in Ben & Jerry's that they X'd out
they raped him.
way back in the day.
Why were we talking about rape before? Oh, the fucking dolls.
The artificial intelligence sex doll.
Do you guys remember when I was showing everybody that day here when they first came out?
Oh yeah.
I think the euphoria kicked in just now.
Gizmo,
now that we're talking about this.
Gizmo wanted one, right?
Gizmo was like hardcore about it. Like I think he had
They're
like the
so
right
weird.
version picked
They're
out
so
for him
weird.
and everything.
Have you seen these things?
No,
They look
I don't
like
know
real
what
people.
you guys are talking
They're
about.
extremely lifelike.
It's
and it's
weird.
scary.
It's so scary. They blink and they kind of have different accents,
And
and they
it
talk.
makes
They tell
you-
you like, "I'm upset today, and you're not making me feel happier." Like they have like personalities.
like people are like living with them.
yeah,
And they're just robots.
like they're more than just sex dolls. They're robots that
Do they
speak to
cook and
you.
clean?
They do. They got ones like
No, they don't.
I mean,
100%. I'll pull it up.
They do.
No, they
They're,
don't.
they're like a $5,000 sex robot. Yeah.
I just want the one that gives you hand job. That's all I want.
Imagine the one that cooks and cleans too. I mean, that's like
I mean, you're getting dinner.
While giving you a hand job. So you just have to follow it around all awkward.
I'm paying $5K. I want way more than a hand job out of that. There's no way I'm settling.
I
for
just,
that.
I don't know. No matter how like lifelike it is and stuff, I just feel like having sex with a robot doll is just so weird, right?
You can't like that's what
Like
I'm
if you're
saying.
really if you're really lacing into this doll, right? Like let's say you got the sex doll doggy style, right? Are you like spanking its ass and you're like, yeah, you like that robot? Like are you
you're gonna
talking
hurt
shit
your
to it?
hand.
And at that point,
No, because it feels like a person. It's
Oh,
all made
does
of like
it?
silicone and shit.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
They blink, the eyes
You
are
have
like
to clean it
realized.
out though. Nobody talks about that. You have to clean it out.
Of course,
that's
you
a
have to clean
good
it out.
point.
That's disgusting.
That's a good point.
I clean out. I clean out.
I wonder if there's just like a trap door, like a tray or something.
Is that like a
That's
once
why
a
there's
week?
no little PJs running
Is that
around.
a
I'm good at
once a week
cleaning that.
cleaning?
I'm trying to think back to how we actually got on this topic.
We were answering a business question. So if
That's
you're
about
in the
right,
sex
yeah.
doll business, then yes, have a partner. Outside of that, I don't know. Keep your friends your friends.
Well, I was gonna say, like she said, if you have a great friend, it might destroy your friendship.
It may.
If you are a great best friend, you guys might get into some confrontations during your business. And another point I'd like to make is you've always said that if you could have one more David, you could double the revenue of Blackstone Labs
Absolutely.
again. So there are some good partners.
Mhm.
Some.
There are some absolutely for sure. It's the odds are lower, and you have to think about how much you value your friends and your friendships. I've actually turned down a lot of my friends on business proposals. Actually, I'm gonna segue into something else after this, and I've told them straight up, like, I like being your friend. Let's just leave it at that, because I've had to fire a bunch of my friends. I've had to sue a few of my friends. I've wrecked a couple of them that wanted to be tough, and it just sucks that it goes that way. Now, I will tell you this: we're bringing back Brownies.
Oh.
And here's a situation where I actually do think a friendship will work out good. My good buddy Mark, who is the CEO of Fresh Meal Plan, which is the biggest meal prep company there is. We are probably going to be putting a product out, and I'll just leave it at that for now. And that's two guys that are friends that both are into the same thing and had an idea. Neither one of us needs the other person, I guess, per se. That's what makes it good. Like, I don't need his money, he doesn't need mine.
Just creating things for the sake of creating good things.
So that changes it. Next question. Can you pass me that spoon?
All right, next question is short esters and long esters. Greetings, PJ and Josh. I find the podcast very entertaining and informative. Blackstone Labs puts out amazing products. Thank you for all that you do. My first question is, does Blackstone Labs have a forum? I've noticed similar questions being asked on the podcast several times. It would be nice if you guys had a forum where some of the OG Blackstone followers could answer these questions. It would also be nice for referencing topics that have been covered already. I need a little clarification for some information and research I've done. Certain compounds have short esters while others have long esters. What is the recommended cycle for abnormal to really get the most out of it? And if and when equalizer becomes available, what would be the recommended cycle for that product? Thank you for your time, Jackal5150.
So this is a very intelligent question, by the way, and I'm going to make the answer very simple for you. Both of those products should be run for longer durations. So those products should be run, in my opinion, 8 to 12 weeks. You'll get more out of it. You're probably not going to start seeing the true benefits from those products until 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks in. Now, on the other side of it, Chosen One, Brutal Force, these are products that you're going to notice right away because you're going to get instant boost in your testosterone levels right away. These are things that you can get good results on in a month, but typically your body needs time to adapt to everything, and you can't just put on muscle overnight. So the longer that you give these products the ability to kick in and work, the better. So although you can get away with short blasts with Chosen One and Brutal Force, it's better to do them all for longer.
And just to answer your question about the forums, I'm not sure if we still have a forum.
I think that there still is. To be honest with you, no one goes in there.
No, well, I mean, like, the only people in there are like some people that are basically what you said, OG Blackstone followers. But I think there's a very short number of them in there. However, if you're in the Legion or if you have interested in joining the Legion, once you're in, you can join the Blackstone Labs Legion Facebook group where we have a lot of different topics, discussions, polls going on for new apparel ideas and logos and stickers and things like that. So go ahead and search for that on Facebook if you're in Legion. If you're not in Legion, you should be in it. So get on it.
There you go.
All right. Next one comes from Heridad.
Heridad's been on every week.
And always entertaining.
Always entertaining.
Hi, Josh and Drew. This is the one and only girl man, aka Heridad. Lord Braun is a very sexual person. When you say that sex is potentially very counterproductive, please allow me to explain. I see this a lot as a guy problemo. They mold a big part of their life in order to get sex, investing time, resources, creativity, etc. to impress a girl instead of having all these resources to impress a client that will bring business, etc., etc. Having sex gives you a great feeling of accomplishment, success, and importance, but after it passes, the guys are left as they were. Same with exercise. I see a lot of fitness guys who lose themselves into the feeling of success that gymming brings, but lead a rotting life. I'm not counting relationships because they can be a partnership that pushes each other to conquer life. Please remember to check my email or PM sent from my secret IG. The moment you say yes to collab, I'll check with Salvania to ask for seconds worth of video I'll need. Thank you. Lots of loves to you.
Heridad, possibly one of the best questions that he's ever put in. And he knows, I'm sure, that I actually did say yes to the collab already the other night. Well, I'm awaiting his response from that. I'm sure whatever you need as far as video clips, Salvania can get it to you. Salvania. I mean, he kind of like was explaining the answer to that question in his question. And yeah, like guys put a lot of fucking time into sex. They do. For just the sake of having sex. I had a friend, actually, you guys probably, most of you guys know Will. He has Blue Ribbon Subs.
Okay.
He was at the booth at the Arnold and he came down, he had the 488. He's the one that was the head bartender, and I was the security. Oh, okay. And he always says how bad of a security was. Me and him have been friends since, I was a teenager, and he would say, he was like, man, you put a lot of work into having sex. He's like, I'm impressed. He would say it all the time. He's like, you really work for it. So I would. I'd fly around, I'd go all out. It's a lot of work. And then in the end, you're just like, all right.
Like you said, left as they were.
Now, if you say work hard. I mean, what is it? What is it? Work hard.
What is your version of it?
No, it's work hard, play harder. Right? I mean, what is that?
Mine is work. Like mine's work hard, fuck harder. Excuse my language.
It's funny because when I was single, I had a buddy of mine that was like, you know, he's like, I actually went, 7 years without having sex. And I was like, how did you do that? And he's like, there's this thing called the internet, and I wasted a whole lot less time than trying to talk to a new girl every time I wanted to have sex than just going on the internet. And then, you know what? As soon as I was done, I was back onto focusing at work.
You know, that is very true, though.
Yep. I honestly
save a lot of money, too.
Don't agree with that perspective, but he's not wrong.
I've gone through those phases before.
Yeah? I
Not
can't
for
go
7 years.
That's crazy.
I went like 7 months once.
And I totally believe it. Like 1,000% I believe it.
And I went like 7 months when I had reconstructive surgery on my arm. I was miserable because I was like, I can't really work out. I don't want to meet chicks with this.
I was going to say, was it your right arm?
It was my right arm.
And you
that's
jack off
why
with
I
your right
jerk
arm?
left-handed now.
Oh, okay. So you
That's
just...
all how it started.
Dude, that's like, that's evolutionary right there. That was like,
And I never went back.
how certain animals
Switch
adapt
hitter.
to their surroundings. You just adapted.
I'm ambidextrous with jerking only. Nothing else. Gotta use my right for everything else. Can't even brush my teeth with my left hand, but I jerk way better on the left side.
True.
For you guys though, can't you go into your phone? Don't you look at girls that you like hooked up with before, and you're like, you know what? I know if I just call her, she'll be over in a second. Don't you have those numbers in your phone?
Yeah, for sure.
Some of them do, some of them don't. There's also, the whole like if you're talking about being productive, you're going back to something that you used to have anymore. It's probably not very productive for you to be going back in time.
It's like a business venture that you invested money into, and it really wasn't the greatest move.
You just keep dumping cash into it. You
making
are making such a mess with this ISO cream.
Cream everywhere. Come on, PJ.
Very creamy today.
Karen, I don't know what it is today, but everything that you say is like going dirty for some reason.
No, that's your mind.
She just said cream everywhere.
I agree.
Did you hear that?
I agree.
That's like the 10th dirty thing so
It's
far.
ISO cream everywhere. It's
No, but
white.
you didn't say I said cream everywhere.
I scream, you scream.
You guys plugged it enough. I can say ISO cream next time.
We all scream for ISO cream.
Everywhere. I was like, oh, spray.
Scream for the cream.
All right.
Heridad.
Heridad, I did agree to the collaboration, by the way.
Next question.
I love how Heridad is so well thought out in his deliveries.
I do enjoy
That's
most
cute.
of his questions. I think there was the first one I didn't quite understand, and then once we got from there we were good.
Last week's was good. Last week
was great. Yeah, you actually had a really good back and forth on that one. All right, next question is about low T. It says hello and have a good day to you, PJ and Team Blackstone Lab. I hope you guys are doing well. I have been following Ask PJ Braun EPS on YouTube, and I thank you for giving us your precious time to answer our questions. My question is, I'm 39. I have been suffering from low energy, sex drive, and mood swings for more than a year. I went to see an endocrinologist, and he ordered some blood tests: CBC, lipids, sugar, vit profile, sperm analysis, prolactin, cortisol, thyroid, LH, FSH, estradiol, free, and total T. All came back good except for prolactin, estradiol, and total test and free test.
Obviously.
Prolactin was 15.42. Normal range for the male is between 2.64 and 13. I'm sure you know all those. Estradiol was 94.33.
Pretty high.
Free T was 11.36.
Wow.
Total T was 1.02.
Wow.
FSH was 4.26.
That's not that bad.
LH was 2.53. Now this blood test I did after 4 weeks on RAD 140, 30 milligrams every day.
RAD 140?
Yeah.
What is that?
I think it's a SARM, I believe.
Okay.
I'm almost positive. I might be wrong.
Right.
Yeah? A year ago I did
You know what it is?
I don't know about it, but I'm pretty positive it's a song.
RAD 140?
Yeah.
I have all this new shit now the kids are messing around with.
I want to say it's like a bulk, like it puts on a lot of size.
Maybe.
Something like that.
I've never done anything.
Did he say if he was still on it when he got the blood work done, or he was off of it?
A year ago I did the same blood test. Estrogen and prolactin was in the normal range. Total and free T was a tad better than now, but still not in the normal range. The endocrinologist put me on the test depot 1 gram.
Oh, that's good.
4 milligrams every 2 months for 6 months, and then visit him again. I asked him to put me on test E or SIP instead, but he refused.
No, the test depot is good.
He said test is test and I shouldn't be picky.
Your doctor is awesome. That's so awesome. That's the same. If I was a doctor, I'd say the same shit.
That's great.
Get out of here with that.
Let us get his number. I had my first shot 3 days ago. It was painful and still hurting. My question is, for the next shot, can I replace Test Depot 1 gram 4 milliliters with Test E 250 milligrams or SIP every 10 days or 2 weeks? What do you think is better for long-acting tests for TRT with large amount versus same amount but small frequent doses? What is the right amount of TRT to gain muscles for a 170-pound, 17% body fat with a few years of weight training? Thank you in advance. Much love.
So, I'm going to say something, and it's going to blow all your minds. Test Depot is testosterone cypionate.
Nuclear mushroom thought off.
That's why your doctor said that.
Boom.
I, as a matter of fact, have been using Test Depot for most of my retirement. Love it.
Really?
I have the compound pharmacy versions of cypionate and anthate, other things that I've utilized and tried. But the Test Depot is outstanding. A little bit goes a long way. And be happy with it. It's going to put your numbers where they need to be. Don't worry about switching your esters. Now, you don't need to worry about things like Proviron and all the other fancy stuff that bodybuilders are using. But if you put you on Test Depot, there's a good chance you may need some Arimidex also. And you can cruise on that and make good gains for the rest of your life now, even into your 50s and 60s.
All right. Next one says, leaning out. Hey PJ, what do you do the last 2 weeks before a contest in terms of diet and workout? Since I've started the Beat PJ contest, I've lost 12 pounds and actually look bigger. I'm doing HIIT cardio and intermittent fasting, weight training 6 days a week, eating only whole foods. Any tips would be much appreciated. All the best to you, man. P.S. I wrote a jingle for Blackstone Labs on Instagram, Paul of Attraction. I tagged you in it. Check it out.
Paul of Attraction's awesome. What up, Paul of Attraction? I see his stuff all the time. That's great. I feel like I shouldn't answer this question because of the video series that starts on Friday.
Maybe we should.
All right, so I'm gonna answer this question by explaining to you what I'm doing. Today is Thursday. By the time you're listening to the show, the video series will already be underway. So starting tomorrow, I'll be 7 days out from my finale for the Beat PJ, which is a week before everybody else's. And what I'm going to do, something that nobody ever does, is I'm going to document every single day up to what would be my show day. And I'm going to explain everything that's being done and why, all the stuff that gurus charge you thousands of dollars for. Not saying you won't need them anymore, because Coach K is a guru. But I'm going to put it all out there, from diuretics to water to the stupid things that people do with sodium, carving up, tanning, shaving, pube shaving, butt shaving.
Last episode you talked about shaving your
We
buddy's
did.
grundle.
I don't know why. I don't know. What do you got to do on Wednesday?
Next Wednesday? I'm checking my schedule.
I mean, we already watched each other poop through a tube.
Right. The
So
shaving's a
we
piece
can
of
get
cake.
into shaving.
Just bring a bag of Bix. You should be good to go.
Yeah.
That is
Whole
what I
bag?
actually use.
Well, I mean,
I don't even know.
Bics are the ideal body shavers. People they buy like the Mach 3s and shit like that. Those are good on your face. They suck on your body. You just use the cheap disposable ones, shave them up. Like even those like women's disposable ones, like the little like Venus leg ones, those are good. And you just throw them away and just keep busting out new ones. To use like a Mach 3 on your body it doesn't work the same way.
true.
Now, I'm going to go over this in the video, though, for a guy, and for some of my like Spanish ladies out there, or Afghani ladies, you may want to get a pair of clippers first. Trim that body hair up. Some of you are quite hairy.
Take that length down a bit.
Yep.
Weed whacker.
But we'll go over all that as well. I don't want to answer that one because you're going to have a whole video series that's coming out every day in a matter of 48 hours. So just stay tuned for those.
Pertaining to basically just your question,
Yep.
so you should feel extremely special and just pretend like we did this entire video series just for you.
Yep, exactly. Law of attraction.
All right, the next question comes from Dragon. Hey PJ and
Dragon
Josh.
Izumi?
Yep,
Oh shit.
that's our boy.
Hell yeah.
This is a continuing question from
Killed the coupon codes. Oh my lord.
Murdering.
Did you hear the number?
I mean, I see it. I see things.
I didn't even expect that.
Keep my eyes open.
Murdering it.
A little bit nosy here and there,
Mm-hmm. Not surprised.
right?
That's how everybody should be posting, by the way.
Yeah, because I mean, like, and especially for those of you that are in Legion that know, you can go and check the your code uses on the website now, using the password that was sent to you in your email. You should get motivation out of seeing those other people that are close to 20 code uses, and there's other people that are still down there.
Can they see Dragon's code?
They can see the number of times other people's codes were used.
Ah, so you should see Dragons so you can all feel bad about yourself.
And,
Just kidding, but you should.
Just for fun.
Dragon is murdering it.
Well, they won't be able to see Dragon's number anymore because Dragon was moved up.
Yeah, he was moved up.
So I can see Dragon's number, but they can't see Dragon's number. But they can see other people in the Legion who are murdering it and getting. I mean,
Alicia's killing it.
I'm not going to name names, but 18 and 16 and 14 code users.
I'll name names all day.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Like the dad that puts his children against each other.
but that's exactly how it needs to be.
But that's all proof to what I always say all the time when these fucking girls are like, oh, how come nobody's using my code? I'm like, how come you're not posting? You know,
made 40 posts in a month.
Simple. It's just simple math.
All right, he says, this is a continuing question from my last question on DHEA. I'm finishing my 8-week cycle and just throw it at me. Transitioning into a PCT, I realized that PCTV contains Remistane just like Eradicate. Does that mean that Eradicate or Remistane does not need to be cycled out? In other words, once the 4 weeks of PCT is over, is there a recommended waiting period before going back on DHEA and Eradicate? Also, is there a science behind why PCT5 has 37.5 milligrams of Remistane versus Eradicate has 25 milligrams? I would have texted you, but seemed like more like an info that other people may want to know too. Thank you always for everything, Dragon.
All right, so the reason that we dose things like Eradicate the way we do, and I've talked about this with a lot of products over the years. This is why I dosed Ostepure the way they do. I dose everything in women's doses, unless it's something that a woman just would not take, like Chosen One. So Anagenin is in 25 milligram doses. Guys, you need 100 milligrams for it to actually work right. Can you get away with 50? Probably a little bit. I did it myself, and I didn't really notice shit unless I was on 100 milligrams. However, women can get great results on 25 or 50. So I dose most of the capsules for things like that in women's doses, just thinking guys can take more. So a woman should get awesome results on 25 milligrams of Eradicate just for drying herself out. She wouldn't want to go aggressive if she was just trying to like calm her estrogen down. Now, if she was, her name is Rebecca, by the way. If she was doing I'm just making that up. Show, I'm just referring to this she.
For a second, I was like, what, Dragon has a Rebecca?
No, I'm just referring to this she. This mystery woman and her estrogen. The average woman could calm her estrogen levels enough where she could take a product like that for long periods of time and get a lot drier. I know a lot of girls that do it. Then there's crazy people like Sylvania, who was taking like 10 of those a day at one point.
Or Lewis, who was taking like an entire bottle for
people get crazy with it. Savina, at that point, she had like feathers in her quads, but it was like ridiculous, you know? I'm like, you're gonna have a bad rebound when you stop. And guys, you're gonna need more. So I put more in the PCT5 because women aren't gonna be taking PCT5 because women aren't worried about bringing their testosterone back when it crashes down. And that's it. That's the whole science behind it. If you're taking the PCT5, you most likely won't need Eradicate unless you're somebody who is really just an estrogen machine like I am actually. I don't picture you, Dragon, being that kind of person. Myself, I have to take a milligram of Arimidex on HRT doses of testosterone daily because my body puts out so much estrogen. So a lot of people are like, oh my God, you take a milligram of Arimidex a day? You must feel like shit. And I don't. Because when I get my blood work done, my estrogen is usually like 35, which is considered perfect. But that's at a milligram a day, where many other people at a milligram a day, they'd be like 7.
Right. And
they'd feel tired and dry. And I mean, I feel kind of dry and achy in my joints anyway, but I feel like it's more of an age thing. Now, the one thing you have to be careful of when you're taking stuff like that is that it's going to lower your cholesterol, especially your good cholesterol, a lot. So you got to worry about your lipid profile when you do stuff like that. Again, this is why you don't want to be running things like that all year round. But dosage is just a simple one. One was designed specifically for women. One is designed specifically for men. So doses are going to be different.
So for Eradicate, is it 1 in the morning for women?
Women can get away with 1 Eradicate a day. They'd get very good results on 2. And then girls that have just like really big butts or like a lot of like there's always like those girls that like can have like 6 packs but like huge hips and thighs. Mm-hmm. Those are women that can get really good benefits from taking like 2 in the morning and 2 at night. Like going harder on the dose because they just have way more estrogen receptors in their lower bodies. Like a lot of Spanish girls, Italian girls. It's like a hereditary thing where you'll just hold more estrogen receptors in your lower bodies.
Hereditary, wide hip genetics.
Yep, I like that shit though. So
just forcing
bring that my way.
Men wanting to reproduce with you because you have healthy width in your pelvis. Is basically the science behind it.
It is. That's how Kim K got put on the map. And J-Lo.
I know you've explained to me the science behind lions and testosterone and wide hip bones before.
Oh, there's a reason why I am the king lion. Till some other big fucking king lion tries to come and eat me. Dane.
DJ, can I actually though with Eradicate, like what causes like if you take it and you have like a breakout? Because me, I'm like all about my face, and it's like as soon as I take it, because I know I like carry everything down here. When I take it, it's like boom 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 on my forehead.
Did your legs get leaner?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what happens is, as a woman, there's another number of other factors that are going to affect your hormones all the time. Every month, your hormones are going to change based on your menstrual cycle. Also, If you're taking birth control, that's going to change your hormones. So there's a number of things that are affecting a women's hormones. So when you add something in that's going to, so the way that arimistane works, it's called a suicide estrogen blocker, which means it murders estrogen. So, and that's not even like really bro science, that's actually what it does. So it's much different than Nolvadex, which is a serum that, so SERM stands for Select Estrogen Receptor Modulator, which means that you have these estrogen receptors in your body that can't bind with the estrogen that's there anymore. And that's why I like Nolvadex so much. You're still producing estrogen the same way, it just can't bind with the receptors. So arimistane is gonna actually go and kill that estrogen. So if you're a woman and you have X amount of estrogen in your body, and you kill it, you're now shifting your hormones a lot. And that shift, even though you're producing, the same amount of testosterone or the same amount of progesterone, it could be a shift where you're out of balance too much, that your system becomes more androgenic, and with androgenic systems comes oily skin, comes acne, things like that. And you, a lot of times, won't even know it unless you try.
That's like, for me personally, I usually don't have too bad acne, like very, very mild usually, but if I take like Brutal Force, acne immediately. Because of that like your body's always trying to balance out your testosterone, estrogen. So if you're a woman and you drop your estrogen, obviously that yin yang is going to flip in the other direction.
For me, I'll give you another example. When I got out of the hospital, I wanted to get back into it as soon as possible. So I decided that I was going to run a little NPP, nandrolone phenylpropionate, which I never ever ran in my bodybuilding years, but heard a lot of good things about it, and it's essentially fast-acting DHEA. And so I ran it for a month, from the time I got out till I went to Colombia. And I ran it in a low dose, and I only ran it 3 times a week. And realistically, that's something that you should do every other day, no matter what. So even if 3 times a week seems like it's every other day, if you're not truly going every other day, you're gonna get these ups and downs where your hormones are. And when I was doing that, after about the 2nd week in, Salvi was like, oh, you're getting like breakouts on your back, and you always have such clear skin. I really do. I always have like, I never have acne on my back. And I was getting like those big like back knee pimples.
The super like cystic ones.
Not like patches of them, there'd just be like one that would pop up where you're like, whoa, where'd that come from, And I knew exactly what it was from. I was like, it's from the NPP. Like it's boosting my hormones up and down, and until I get off of it or cycle it a little bit smarter, it's just gonna be like that. And then once I was off of it for like a week, I haven't gotten any more since then. So it's just a matter of your hormones, going up and down. You're gonna have some side effects like that.
All right.
You have to decide, do you want to have really lean legs, or do you want to have a little bit of acne?
Next question comes from Dono90 on Instagram. It says, PJ, shout out to the Legion. Got any tips for tightening up loose skin on the stomach area? I've heard about Prep H, and right now I'm using MPA ab gel. It's been working pretty good along with wearing an ab belt. Any more tips would be appreciated. Have PJ do this. Can I get a woo?
Woo!
Woo.
Dono?
Yep.
Looks really good right now. Have you seen him?
I do think I saw him like last week. I don't think I've seen a picture of him.
Timing and something today, his abs are out and shit. He changed a lot. He's gonna beat PJ, one of those guys that may have a chance to beat me.
Is he working with a rep?
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, Dono. Oh shit, I missed something important for my dad. Hold on a minute.
Hold on.
We're still on the air. Everybody, happy anniversary to my mom and dad today. That's why my dad's not here today. It's his anniversary. And it is, I believe, 28 years today.
Wow.
When Tara and I watched the podcast that you talked about your mom and JR and how she took him to the strip club because she felt like she had robbed him of like his going out and having a not a slutty experience, but she felt that he hadn't had enough because she was the first one that he was like serious with, and Tara was just like melting and crying at the thought of somebody being so loyal for so long.
It's a long time.
JR is
it's cute, right? It's a cute story. For those of you that don't know what he's talking about, just go listen to the last podcast.
It's hilarious.
It is good. So my dad just messaged me something amazing that I'm not going to read on the air. It's one of those things, that typical thing for me that I would do.
That you would do?
Yeah. Sure. About responding to an email that I shouldn't have responded to. He also said, thank God your mom is cool. I have been working since 8 o'clock this morning and have not done anything yet for her anniversary. Crazy day, but it's all good stuff. Getting a lot done. We're going to go out to dinner later.
Maybe he'll take her to the strip club.
Let me message them back. I'm messaging him to stop working. Can't even get him to stop on his day off for his anniversary.
He's just one of those go kind of people.
Well, he's excited about the ice cream. Everybody is.
Yeah, I mean, I just crushed a pint. Probably kill like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 more.
What's your favorite flavor?
I like the vanilla cookie dough the best myself. The chocolate, I got nothing against the chocolate chip. It's very chocolatey. If you're like a person that would get something that would be like death by chocolate when you go out, I think you would like that one. But the cookie dough in the vanilla cookie dough is just so on point.
Cookie dough, you just can't go wrong.
You can't.
But
really
the chocolate is amazing.
The chocolate is very creamy and very chocolatey.
It's so chocolatey.
And very good. You can actually, I don't know if you'll be able to see it on camera, but there's actually just the chocolate chip chunks remaining in the bowl of melted ice cream in there.
I love chunks. Seriously.
Got to.
Yeah.
Especially the chocolate chunks.
So, this is so funny. I'll let Trevor read this afterwards too. Read this.
Are we good to go on the next question, or
Yes.
did you? Oh yeah, you did the woo. That was.
Just don't. Honestly, preparation H is not going to do it. If you want to try to tighten your skin, there is no topical agent that truly does work. However, there is an ingredient that is very effective in releasing fat cells from the surface area, which will make you a little tighter. And I experimented with it a lot myself. I put it out under my old company. Stankonias, we'll call
Celestial Thotties.
Yeah. If you look at the topical fat burners like Sweet Sweat and all those bullshit products, none of them really have anything that does anything in them. However, there are a couple brands. I was the first one to do it, by the way.
As usual.
Shout out to sucking my own dick there. I don't care. If it has liporeductal in it, try Peptide 1. That actually has scientific backing. Protan actually put out a product that has that in it. Flex Lewis's product that I don't even know if he sells anymore. The Dragon product, whatever it's called.
Is it in their tan that they spray on you? So over there, when they're spraying you, you're actually burning fat on stage.
No, that would be a great idea.
They are sleeping.
I'd
You're
wear
even
that
leaner.
In the prep, I'd wear that.
Came in pale, came out brown and ripped.
For like those 3 weeks where you're trying to get tan before the show, you start using some fat burning Protan. We just plugged you guys up. You better take
Did you
advantage
read
of
that?
Yeah, right.
Good thing I didn't write anything bad.
Yeah. Good heads
That
up
one
there.
was nuts. I'll have to show you the actual email. You're gonna be like, what the fuck? But
Your
Chris handled
response
it.
wasn't bad.
He handled it very well, and I wrote "good job" back. And then
Oh.
he immediately called me and he goes, "Oh, those go back to the people when you do that, and now they have your email." And so that's what my dad was messaging me about either.
Oh no, everybody has his email.
All right, next question. Oh shit. Fuck. Let me reach out to the doctor this time really quick. Let's. Why don't you banter with the team for a minute?
Banter,
Here?
team banter.
I'm gonna reach out to my doctor that I'm supposed to be at pretty much now.
We're
Let's
running
see.
a little late there.
All right, so what is your favorite flavor of the ice cream?
Well, I'm gonna go with chocolate as of now because I've only tried the chocolate and the mint,
mint?
chocolate.
Well,
Well, yeah, I haven't tried the.
oh, that's not the mint.
No, there's the mint.
Get that mint.
But what I'm so in love with is that the whole pint is 20 grams of carbs.
The entire pint is 20 grams
How
of
does
carbs,
it
guys.
taste that good with only 20 grams of carbs?
See, the thing is Lord Braun is not only a lord, he's also a gentleman, a scholar, and a magician.
And he's a Prezi.
And a Prezi.
Why not have the same?
Magical president.
I'm the only one that calls him Prezi. I want everyone to know that.
She is the only
I'm
one.
only allowed to call him that because I came up with it.
Anybody else that's been saying that term, you better watch out. I'm going to have Dane come and find you.
Yep.
And he's huge right now if you haven't seen him lately.
Mash him.
I'm a pacifist.
And show baby can't even fit him in a camera.
Where the fuck is this now?
Maybe one day Dane and I do a workout. Maybe PJ can put us both through a
I don't know if
workout.
Dan will be able to handle it. We just watched him work out with Akeem and Eric, and he was looking like he was ready to go home.
People are gonna hate hearing you smacking that goddamn microphone.
They have to accept it.
PJ did it for 10 minutes or so.
You know what?
Oh, so do you remember when we were talking about Euphoria and people that post with Euphoria, and we were talking about Chris Michelle in the kitchen? By the way, that is her husband, and I apologize for saying that I don't think she's with anybody. Found that out afterwards.
Oh, her boyfriend. I don't think she's with him anymore. He's like, we still got a ring, motherfucker. That's great.
Oops.
Oh, man.
Shout out to them. Shout out to that booty picture you posted today, Chris. I saw that. I see it. I see all the butt stuff. Where the fuck is this number?
No, the funny, were you on the live this morning, Josh?
I always pop in and out of the lives. The thing is a lot of the times when I'm watching him, it skips around so much that it ends up annoying me that I can't even hear what he's saying. So I'm just like, oh, I'll watch it later once it's like loaded up. Like, you know, once he ends it, like if he saves it, it loads up. You can watch the whole thing in the entirety without like doing the lagging skipping. Sometimes I'll do that.
Yeah. I actually happen to catch it most of the time he's on. I'm doing my cardio, so it's perfect. But this morning he said somebody's butt looked like a good snack. I was dying.
Yvette.
Okay.
I stole that though from Cassidy Campbell.
That's really
It's
good.
his character that he plays,
Dude, that kid is
the
hilarious.
Wankster character. He does like these YouTube pranks. And there's one where he plays this character, this like Wankster, he calls him.
Oh yeah.
And he's like basically like I look at him like what Eminem was when Eminem first came out. He's just like a little skinny like white thug with like a white t-shirt.
He's a slightly more retarded version of Eminem.
Yeah. And he's in this like grocery store and he's like pranking people. He's got the hidden camera and the girl that's working at the register, he's trying to talk to her and she's not talking back to him. He goes, "Damn girl, you looking like a snack." I stole that. It made me laugh for the rest of the day. I stole that from him. So
No, there was one. I think the best one I've seen of him yet is he positions himself in I don't know where he is, but there's a group of at least like 7 or 8 females around him, and some of them are standing with other guys, and some of them are by themselves with their girlfriends and stuff. And he's in the Wankster outfit, and he just like waits, positions himself right in front of like the camera, and you can see all the other people around him. And he goes, "Hey, but who's trying to fuck though?" And everybody just turns around and looks at him. He's like, "Oh, for real, I'm just being 100."
Oh my god.
And then he
He's
tries
so
talking
funny.
to him, and all like, "Nah, man, just get out of here with that shit."
there's one where he goes into a car dealership and he's like, "Yo, I'm trying to get one of these straight cash today if I can." And they're like, "Cash?" And he's like, "Yo, just straight cash." And he has this backpack and he's like, "I'm on house arrest right now." And he pulls up his thing. He's got the house arrest thing on his ankle. And the guys are like, and they're like looking for their managers. They don't know what to do. And he just starts opening up the backpack and just dropping wads of cash on the floor. And the one guy, it's so funny because they must be somewhere like in Texas or something. Because the one sales guy was like, "I mean, we can do a deal cash right now if you want. I mean, we can do it." Like the guy wasn't backing down. He saw the cash.
I'll tell you what, you put it in a 10-gallon hat, we'll do it right now.
I love prank shit like that.
There was one of them, he had the wads of cash, and dude just walking by, he's like, hey, can I have some of that? And he just hands it to him. The dude puts it in his pocket, like I'm sure he's gonna get home ready to realize it's fake money. Be like, oh man, no wonder he had so much of that shit.
I like when he goes around, he's like at a shopping mall just walking around with like this suit on, and he's like pretending to be like this rich CEO character, and he's like, he goes, "Did you invest in Bitcoin?" And these girls are like, "No." And he's like, "You didn't?" And then he pauses for a second and then just starts going, "You didn't fucking invest in Bitcoin? What is wrong with you?" And
So dumb.
yeah, he's like, "How stupid are you?" And the girls are all like embarrassed.
He's like, I made 1.7 million off of Bitcoin in 2 years. Don't you feel stupid now?
Yeah, he's good.
The one where he's arguing with the guy in the mall, and the guy's like, "Who are you?" He's like, "I own this mall."
He goes, "I own this. I'm the CEO.
I own this whole mall." And he's like, "Okay." Like, so? He's like, "I own the mall. What are you going to tell me to leave my mall?"
There's one where he pulls into this like shopping plaza and he's in a Lamborghini and he's got a suit on, and he goes up to the guy that's like pushing the carts, and he walks over and he's like, "You know, I've been watching you for a while, and this is just not going to cut it." And the guy's like, "Excuse me?" And he's like, "Give me the jacket." And the guy like one of the little reflector jackets on, and the guy's like looking around. He's like, "Why?" And he goes, "I own this grocery store. This is my parking lot, and I can't have somebody doing a subpar job with the carts the way that you are." He's like, "Give me the jacket, you're fired." And the guy's like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "I'm the CEO of this grocery store." And the guy's like, "All right." He's all sad and he like takes off the jacket and he like hands it back to him. And he's like, "Dude, I'm so sorry. We're on a hidden camera show. I didn't know you were gonna take it the way you did." He's like, "Let me give you $100. Here, I'll take you for a ride in the Lambo." And the guy's like, "Oh, cool." And he like takes him around after that. All right, we're getting off on a tangent. We're sucking Cassidy Campbell's dick too much.
All right.
Fuck you, Cassidy.
Get back to doing your own.
Just kidding. I like him actually. No fuck yous to Cassidy.
All right, next one is so it's on banned substances. Good day, Mr. Braun. This is Jeremy Creason from podcast episode 3. I just want to say that the advice you gave me worked out very well for my unique medical condition, and I just wanted to first, before anything else, say thank you. What I was hoping to hear your thoughts about with this email is banned substances in sports, and then secondly, just in general. In the Jeopardy GGG Alvarez fight in May is what mainly pushed me to write to you. The public waits 8 months for a decent boxing match, and it might not go down because of 0.6 ng of clenbuterol that was found in Alvarez's system 2, maybe 3 months before the fight. So my first question would be, can we hear your thoughts about performance-enhancing drugs in sports just in general?
Yep.
Second question would be, if you could remove one banned substance from the list in sports, what would it be? My third question comes from hearing you talk about being rated a podcast or two ago, and I can only speak for myself as a customer, but I feel that not only did they hurt you, but they hurt all of us as well. With that being my context, if Mr. Braun had the ear of President Democrat or President Republican, not trying to divide the audience, and he or she only had time for you to give him or her a sales pitch for one thing they can do for you, what would it be? Is there a substance that is banned you would like unbanned, or maybe a medical device or treatment that isn't approved here but is used elsewhere? Just anything within an area of supplements, diet, and fitness. I was hoping to hear your thoughts on. Make bodybuilding great again, PJ.
Very good question. We did discuss performance enhancing stuff in sports before. We talked about baseball.
We talked about it being just overall better if we had like one league where they could just take whatever they want.
They should. And I'll answer all those questions in this little paragraph that I'm going to put out for you right now. Get your pens ready, people that are listening. You can quote me on this one. So all sports would be far better if they were medically supervised by doctors that enhance the athletes. They would be considerably better. They would be safer. And the general public has a very poor misconception of what steroids do and how unhealthy they are, because they are greatly healthy when utilized the right way. And steroids do not increase your athletic ability as far as talent goes. So you could give all the steroids in the world to
me. And it's not going to make me a better baseball player.
And it's not going to make me swing a bat better and more accurate.
Nope.
I'll hit it a little harder.
Sure.
But that's it. Who's the kid from Florida that was a great athlete that sucked in the NFL? Tebow. You can juice Tebow out of his mind, and you know what? He may have even been. I'm sure Jesus didn't care that he was juicing, and he probably was. And sorry to all the Tebow Jesus people. I love you too, Jesus. He is a perfect example of somebody that worked really hard and took the old athletic ability as far as you could take it. And then people that work really hard have this hilarious saying that is totally not true. And it's something like, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. That's actually not even true. In fact, most really talented players don't do any of the shit that us hard workers do. And they're better than us still.
It's called the gift.
Yep, it's called the gift. I'll give you an example. I was hanging out with some guys from the Minnesota Vikings one night. I'm not going to say their names, but one of them, who's a defensive lineman, he was like really into bodybuilding. Trained his ass off, trained hard, starting defensive lineman. And we're hanging out one night, and he goes, let me ask you a question. He goes, why all these motherfucking bodybuilders act like they rock stars? And I was like, I don't know, they do act like that, though. That's why I'm not friends with most of them. He's like, why? I don't know who any of these motherfuckers are. Do you? And I was like, I mean, yeah, because I'm in this industry.
Most people are all naked next to each other.
They, like, famous, rich, and shit. And he goes, I'll tell you right now, I'll call Randy, and Randy Moss will come in here, and, like, he'll come in here in the sweatpants and the sweatshirt, and nobody even notice him. But that's motherfucking Randy Moss. And I was like, well, can Randy Moss come here right now? And I was like, he's definitely cooler than anyone that's here.
Tell him to bring a football.
And he's like, no, but Randy Moss ain't gonna act like he's a rock star. He's one of the greatest of all time. And so then we started talking about Randy Moss. And I was like, how hard did he like train? And he just started laughing. He goes, Randy Moss would come. He goes, he would come to practice high as fuck. He goes, not run any of the drills. He goes, drinking the night before. He goes, and then it would be his turn, and he would just toast everybody, score on everybody, catch everything, and he's just that good. He's like, he just had that much skill. Like, you can't teach that in the gym. He's like, you can't work out to be as good as Randy Moss. And he's like, that's just how good he is. He goes, we had a drill where the guy that returns punts was catching all these punts one day, right? And everybody was talking about how good he was. Randy Moss was like, I'll catch all those punts. So they bet him something like a few $1,000 or whatever, that he couldn't do it the same way. Not only did he do them all the same way, but he did ones behind his back and shit too. Never practicing ever. He's just that good. And some guys are just that good. Now, if you take somebody that's that good that also works hard, of course, they're going to be better. But if you took all those guys that have the great talent that are already there, let them take medically supervised testosterone and things like that, they're going to have longer careers. They're going to be able to recover faster. Guys like Roger Clemens that were getting better as they got older. This made the sports more entertaining. Baseball sucks now. Who really likes baseball? Don't lie and say that you like it. You like to sit there and eat hot dogs and shit. That's fun. But like, you don't watch it on TV and you're like, man, I'm really excited by this 3-hour game of 3-0 scoring, you know?
What's even worse is listening to it.
It's terrible.
Ever listen
it fucking
to
sucks,
You have
dude.
to
Baseball
go to
sucks.
the game.
Baseball's barely even fun to play.
You just want to like hang yourself.
It's terrible.
Literally.
And you guys know I'm right, but you all know when these huge ass guys came out, all veiny and mean looking, and just started bashing home runs like crazy, and like getting into it, and like what like that turned into for the sport was the greatest thing for the sport ever. And we all were watching that shit, and we were all into it. And then they wanted to punish all those guys for taking steroids, and they took them away, and now baseball sucks again.
Yep.
So this could enhance sports. It could make everything about it a lot better. It should be supervised.
We need a renaissance, and we need a new Mark McGuire.
We do.
That's
a new Sosa, new McGuire.
That's the only way
the Bass Brothers
to be cool again.
Yeah.
In the same way that steroids won't make you better at a sport, like you can't just give any guy that plays a guitar acid and make a new Jimi Hendrix.
Exactly.
That's not how it works. It doesn't work
Exactly.
that way, guys.
You got to put them under your eyelids though if you want to be like Jimmy.
I think it was in his headband.
Oh, okay. You can put them in your eyelids actually, and in your butthole.
Yeah. Well.
Okay. You're right.
You can. Buccal glands will suck anything up. Look at you sucking up that bag all fast.
That was it? That's all?
That's right.
That's all she wrote?
She's all hydrated now.
Just absorbed it right.
Liver's clean. Do you have to
Feeling
pee?
good?
Got X-ray vision and shit.
You have to pee now?
I do actually now that I stood up.
It's
Yeah.
not a good sign if you don't have to pee afterwards.
Yeah.
No,
You're gonna have probably tomorrow a really, really good pump. What are you training tomorrow?
I think arms.
You'll have a very good arm pump. Today you might be a little tired. For me, it's like hit or miss. Sometimes I get tired. Sometimes I get really energized. But the next day after an IV, you have the best workout.
I feel like hot right now actually.
Yeah, that's
normal.
that's the toxins and the high doses of vitamin C just pushing shit out.
Okay.
It's all gonna start beaming.
Keep
out
drinking
your
lots
eyes.
of water anyway, though.
I'm gonna go drive and crash.
Don't do that.
Bye, Dane.
See ya.
Exit,
Bye.
exit the freak.
Oh, thank you.
What?
I gotta give you your money too, so just
What's that?
I gotta give you your money for this.
Okay.
So
Thank you for remembering
Yeah.
something that most of them don't do. I like the people that just come up to me and hand it to me. I have people that like after I leave, they're like, "I was supposed to give you money," and I'm like, "Were you?"
So
Because
why
I'm not
didn't
gonna go
you-
track them down.
You're like,
No.
so why didn't you then?
No, I won't do it. I refuse to do it. I'm not gonna go into like the cubicle of call center boy X and be like, "Hey, you're gonna give me my money now or not?" Because there's people that are like, "I think I owe you for the last 3."
You're like, dope. That's like $150.
Anyway, now the real price is if you're not getting the concierge service, which we get. It's like depending on the IV you get, it's anywhere from like 175 to $200. I get the really, really good one, but you're paying a service also on top of that to have them drive to this building.
True.
So, anyway, guys, it's $50 for you to do it. It's,
Hey,
it's cheap.
Pay the Lord. Give him his cash money.
Can't do it all, guys.
I know. You can't.
See if the doctor got back to me and if he's mad at me.
He's gonna be mad.
Next question is from Jay Gonzalez 309. Says, hello PJ, I'm doing an anabolic diet, all meats and carbs on weekends. What's the way to get muscles mass on? P.S. I'm on testosterone cycle.
I'm like, not sure. He just wants to put mass on? That's just the question?
Hello PJ, so I'm doing anabolic diet, all meat and carbs on weekends. What's the way to get muscles mass on? P.S. I'm on testosterone cycle.
That's Mario Di Pasquale's diet. Isn't it?
Oh, Mario Di Pasquale. What is during the week then?
It's keto in the week, and then you have the refeed, low fat, protein, and
For 2 days.
on the weekend, I believe.
Okay. Wants to put on size?
What's the way to get muscles mass on?
Take the chosen one. Stick to what you're doing. I would add in some recomp. And just stick with the plan that you're on and add see what you get out of the supplements.
Like lug the shit out of your.
I don't know. I'm not as well, I guess, read in that particular diet. So it's keto during the week and a refeed on the weekend. I mean, I suppose you could definitely put muscle on doing that. 2 days of refeed is interesting. I'd have to look into the science behind that and why. I mean, there's a million ways you could diet. It's all about finding what's best for you.
Just quickly in my defense, guys, sometimes I read these questions and I sound absolutely retarded, and sometimes it's because I'm stumbling over my words, and other times it's because the person that wrote it can't write English.
Well, sometimes we have our foreign listeners that
Right,
if they're
that's
using
what I
Google
think that
Translate or
is.
whatever,
Yeah.
we don't know what it's going to be.
So like whenever I'm like, sometimes I'm trying to make it sound as pleasing as possible to those that are just listening over the radio.
I like the way you read.
Oh well, thank you.
It's so stellar.
I've actually
I like the way you read too.
Yeah.
I've actually been multiple times awarded best reader in class when I was in elementary school.
I believe that.
You know what I'm
It's
saying? When everybody
you
has to read along.
fast too.
Yeah, I articulate well too, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Calm down.
I really didn't even know what else could be said about reading, other than articulation. All right, we're ready for the next one, Peach?
Mm-hmm.
Did the doctor write you back?
No, my dad did that. I told him to hang out with mom and stop selling the ice cream, and he wrote, LOL, but everyone loves the ice cream.
Next one's from Benny H. He said, yo, what's going on, guys? It's Benny again with a pretty personal and intensive question. Thank you so much for what you guys do and taking this hour or so out of your week to help out the fans. It truly speaks volumes to the kind of person you both are. Okay, so looking into the future for me, I'm going to be working on the road this summer and won't be able to make it to the gym. To make a long story short, my plan is to get back into shape during the fall and then take a good cycle after New Year's. To get some background information, I usually hover around 200 pounds and I'm 6 foot. I'm a hard gainer, also 26 if that matters. My goal is to grow but stay lean as well as to improve athleticism and strength. My goal weight is 225. As far as diet goes, I will be eating around 3,350 calories, 300 grams of protein, 500 grams of carbs, 90 grams of fat. Question 1. Would you change anything for these numbers? As far as stack options, I'm very open to anything and everything. This will be my first cycle with the strong stuff. I've been trying to figure out what and how much to take. I'm open to take 1.5 or double the normal dose. Also, it should go without saying that I'm going to do an 8-week cycle or 12. If you think that's necessary, I'm down for taking Methoquad, Chosen, Brutal, Abnormal, and even Equalizer, even though I don't know what that does yet, in any combination you think is best. Question 2, what stack would you do and what doses? Finally, as a PCT, I will obviously do PCT 5 and Apex Male. I was also thinking about adding extra androgenin to make it an even 100 milligrams. Also, I wanted to add Recomp and EpiCat. Question 3, would you change anything about that? Thank you so much for answering this. I was going to wait until I got closer to me doing it until Equalizer came out, but I'm really anxious and excited to do all this and set myself up for success. You guys are amazing. I will be a loyal fan for as long as this is around. Blackstone for life. Sincerely, Benny.
All right.
Hashtag loyalty.
Very loyal.
Loyalty is everything.
All right. Seems like this one is like a pretty much blank slate of I can have him do whatever I want him to do.
Yes, that's what I'm getting.
Including things like Equalizer that aren't even out yet.
He wants you to mold it in the way you see fit.
So what I would suggest is, if there are no rules, which there it seems are none,
Nope.
I would recommend a 12-week cycle of Chosen One, stacked with either Brutal Force or Methoquad. And I would do it just at the regular dose. Then I would do 4 weeks of PCT5 and Apex Male, see how you adjust over those 4 weeks, and then the next cycle, I would run probably 8 weeks, but I would double the doses from the first cycle. And I think for all of it, you can go on and off with Recomp. I think that you should be using Glycolog on all your high carb meals, so that's 2 to 3 times a day I would use it if you can. I would take the growth before bed. I don't know that you really need androgenin when you're doing the good stuff like that. Same thing with
well, the androgenin was for his PCT.
Yeah, you could add it into the PCT if you want to try to hold on to as much as you can during that phase.
Yeah, you might as well.
It's not going to hurt you. But yeah, I would go at 100 milligrams with that. So really, I would just get right to the strong stuff, to the DHEA products, and start pushing and cycling those.
And
if I were gonna, because one of the questions, what would you do? Like me, I stick to Chosen One because I don't really want to put weight on anymore. So I just like having the aggression and being strong and dry, which Chosen One does a lot for you in that regard. I really like Recomp a lot. I couldn't believe what Recomp did. I'm still pretty shocked about it, especially now being off of it and seeing how much the scale dropped. At first, I think I looked a lot better, and now I think I don't look as good. I'm not as full and round. So that product does make a big difference. As soon as I'm done with the PPJ, I'll be right back on that again. That'll be my 2 weeks off that I needed to be. Actually, it'll be 3 weeks off.
Yeah, my client, male, he takes all the Blackstone stuff, but when he started Recomp, he was like, wow, I really noticed a difference with
Yeah, I'm really surprised. I mean, you guys all know I talk about the different steroids that I've used over the years and whatnot on here, so it takes a lot more to impress me. And the Recomp, I kept getting leaner, where everyone's like, you're doing so good, you're getting lean, like how much weight have you lost? I'm like, actually, I gained weight. I lost a lot initially, and then I started gaining weight, and I was like, the only thing I can think of is maybe it's from this Recomp, because I've never used Recomp before. Sure enough, I ran a little more than the regular dose, so I ran 4 a day. And, you know, it was really like, you know, getting a little crazy with it there.
Little cray.
A little cray. By the way, I'm being sarcastic for the people out there that are like, don't run 4 a day.
I was actually just going to say 200 pounds, 6 foot. Sounds like me, and I personally, I love taking 4 Methaquad pre-workouts to try that.
There you go.
I'm kidding. But I do take 4 Methaquad pre-workout, but I'm not recommending you do
that.
that.
Just made me think that I forgot to do the...
Pre-workout Methaquads?
No, yeah, well, if you want to call them that. I guess we can do one later.
Chokies?
Yeah, they're good.
So good,
they're
dude.
really good.
They're bad though. They're actually bad. Like okay, so I was at the gym yesterday after taking one of those, and this dude, the entire gym was just appalled by the fact that he is like out loud screaming country music.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like screaming, like, wanna roll my windows down and cruise, and for like 40 minutes, to the point where I got so annoyed because I didn't have my headphones. I had nothing to listen to but this guy's voice. And he kept moving around us. Like, every time we left his area, he would come over to us, like, across the gym multiple times. So I just started singing the exact song that he was singing, and that made him stop.
That's so funny. Have you seen that dude in LA Fitness? I think you might have been there, actually.
The dude with the short shorts.
Yeah,
the
he was
short
there
blue shorts
today.
and
That
the
guy
white
makes me
tank.
so uncomfortable.
I have videos
Why?
from when me and Corey
It
were
makes me
on
very, very uncomfortable. He was doing laterals, like, all next to me today. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go use a machine.
It's very bad.
Yeah, he's creepy.
What, is he crushing on you or what?
No, it's
He
just
seems like pedophilic.
Yeah.
Like, he's like a very old gray man that tries his absolute hardest to get his balls to come out of his shorts every day.
Tight.
And it hasn't worked yet.
Every day.
You have
LA
to
on
stay
Yamato or whatever.
I'm
broken
gonna
sound
have
right
to
over
pull
here.
up this video.
One that's
I
close to
have
the gym.
Yeah.
that Corey. So we
He
were.
was there today when I was there, and he's creepy.
Corey and I were on prep, and Corey went to go take a video of me, and this dude literally comes 2 feet in front of Corey, holding a cell phone, clearly recording, and does like a high kick multiple times in front of the camera with like it's just nuts straight to camera. And like
On your video.
I'm in the background looking at Corey's camera like, what the fuck is going on? He literally just sees us recording and just puts his nuts right in the camera.
At least
Like-
you're getting entertainment at the gym. I mean, it's not really the worst thing that could happen.
Call it what you want.
I mean, you have people singing to you. You have,
Yeah, that was at a
high
different gym,
kicks.
thankfully.
yeah.
All right, next question says, hey PJ, just wanted to start off by saying thank you for this podcast. I love your products and your knowledge on gear and supplements. It's been a real help overall, especially when the person owning the company cares about the results of their products. Thanks for everything you do. I just wanted an opinion on what or how to kind of finish a product line my fiance and I started, if it's a good industry to stay in. I have a lot of shirt ideas, from funny to facts about gym-related topics. Example, here for dumbbells, not dumb boys. Peach booty certified, we add a peach with a thong on it for this one. And I guess, being new to this, I'm not sure if it's worth copywriting this or not, or even how to distribute online. I know you've mentioned paying people, but I guess I'm worried that it might be simple to distribute online and not worth hiring someone for it. I've seen the way Amazon markets products, and I've seen the website designs to make my own, but I guess I'm still unsure if it's worth it. The overall goal being that we want to fully start the company by making statements with our clothing line, especially when I see people doing abs, and I just want to tell them to focus on their diet and stop doing crunches because they all have that desperation like spot reduction is real. Overall, I have an idea of where I want to go with this, and I would greatly like to hear your opinion on the pros and cons of a clothing line and a profit margin on what to expect, especially seeing how most times everyone has a discount on their sites to attract a customer. Thanks for listening, Herman.
Well, Herman, I'll tell you this. I'm going to answer this question negatively to start.
I was just going to say the apparel questions right now are not what we need.
Apparel is extremely difficult. It's harder than supplements, that's for sure.
That's right.
I've done apparel for a while. I did it more effectively with my last company, but I'm also not involved as much in my current company, Blackstone Labs, with apparel, which is the area of the company that I feel is the weakest right now. Not for lack of creative design and efforts and ideas, but for lack of execution, timeliness. Anyway, I don't want to talk about that.
Anyways.
So your margins on clothing sucks until you start going overseas to China and South America. Then your margins will be considerably better, but you have these minimum purchase orders that are going to be in the thousands. So if you want to get 3,000 t-shirts, then yeah, you'll have nice margins where you can make more money, but you're going to have to make that investment also. Something that you're going to really have to think about. Why do they want to buy your shirts as opposed to all the other companies' shirts? What's so good about you? And that's the name of the game with apparel. When you see these brands that really made it, a great percentage of them were owned by other companies that were bigger companies, had certain investors, things like that, that they can be casual with what they're doing with the clothes, and it doesn't matter if they're not making money. Now, that is not always the case. There are companies that started with nothing and then made it big. A good example, I suppose, is Rob and Dalen Bailey. Like, I don't think anyone thought Flag Nor Fail was going to be as big as they did, but then Rob wound up friggin' having a top-selling album on iTunes. He wound up having a song in the open credits of a freaking Oscar-nominated movie. You know, like all kinds of crazy shit. Like, obviously that stuff sold even more t-shirts, you know? So, I know people, I could probably list right off the top of my head, if I started really thinking, at least 20 people that started clothing companies that aren't making shit. And it's because you're in a very competitive field with a ton of people that are doing the same thing as you. Are your cuts custom, or are you just buying other shirts? You know, are you printing on them yourself, or are you paying somebody else to do it? This is all things that affect the number at the end of the day. Now, are you using the apparel to push your supplement line? Is that going to push the supplement line more? Yes and no. I mean, you're spreading awareness to the name a little bit more, but that's not necessarily going to make the person buy the supplements. Now, if they really like your supplements, they're going to be more inclined to buy your products after that. Your shirts after that, anything else you put out after that. But usually that's because they fall in love with your actual supplements first, not vice versa. You know, it's usually not somebody that's like, oh, that's a really cool shirt, I'm going to wear that shirt, and then be like, oh, that shirt that I like happens to make vitamins. Maybe I should take some of their vitamins since I like that one shirt that they made. You know, so you have to think of stuff like that, whereas Blackstone Labs, we make really good shit. You know, our pre-workouts are the best, our pump products are the best. We put out pro hormones that a lot of people won't put out. People fucking love the shit that we do. So because of that, they're like, damn, I want to wear a Blackstone shirt because I freaking love Blackstone. Mm-hmm. And that's the mentality that goes behind it. Now, we've done our best to keep it cool, too. We're trying to keep it cool lately.
More cool shit on the way.
Hopefully.
For sure. Without a doubt.
Shizzle.
Like, it's on the way.
So it's very tough. You're getting into it. You're picking a really tough. You know, supplements is very hard, and apparel is even harder. So you're going to have to really work. And this isn't something where, you know, part of your question was like, should I hire somebody online to do it? You need to be doing all that stuff yourself, saving money and just putting whatever you can into it, because you're going to be working with just much smaller margins.
All right, next one comes from Brandon.
How many more are there? Because we're already deep into
Thick
this.
stack.
Yeah, I don't know. You want to save some of these for the next one? or-
Possibly.
I mean, I think we still got a good couple here. So, if this piece of paper will ever come off the one underneath it.
That one looks like a beast right there.
Good
We got a couple
news.
beastly ones in here.
Good news is I moved my doctor's appointment until tomorrow.
Was it that?
He didn't seem so. I think he kind of
6 more?
with me.
6 more could be added to the next one. We're already an hour and 20 minutes in.
Are any of them BPJ do or die questions? Let's see.
How many more days till that ends?
I'm just
April 20th.
so no, I don't think this is important, but it's great. Third question. We're not going to get too deep into this because I don't think we're asking this whole paragraph of question right now. Do you think watching porn is cheating?
Ha! No, it's not.
My girlfriend thinks me watching porn is considered cheating.
Oh, she's one of those.
What is your opinion on
I've
this?
had a couple of those over the years.
She's being way over dramatic. You're right. And if she says that you're wrong, just have her listen to this podcast and let her listen to us tell her that she's being way over dramatic.
Tell her that you love cheating on her.
Every man you are ever going to be with in your life.
And everybody
is
else
going
is
to
going to
watch
cheat
porn.
on her too, that same way.
Yep, that's never going to change.
If that's the case, I've cheated on every girl I've ever been with.
Let me ask.
Some men think that watching porn is cheating too.
Those aren't real men.
Men that thinks that
Yes.
if my girl was like, I was watching porn, I'd be like, fuck yeah, were you on like Pornhub?
I'll be like, sick, can you show
what
me
genre
scene?
were you
Like,
in?
what are
I've seen
you
that one
watching?
too.
Yeah.
You ain't get that?
Hell no.
Have you had a girl that's ever watched more than you? That was
No,
more-
not possible.
Imagine you had a girl.
Her
that's
shit would be
more-
broke.
More obsessed with
That
it
shit
than
wouldn't
you.
even respond to nothing. You could throw baseball bats at it and it wouldn't work.
Would respond to nothing.
Oh my god.
I don't see any BPJs.
Well, the sex questions get him more hyped. You
They
saw
do.
that, right?
Mhm.
Like, get us some more like real life stuff.
We ask for that stuff all the time. They want to always talk about steroids.
I like the real life stuff.
Yeah. We want more real life.
So that's what we were talking on the last one. Like, you know, you guys can ask us like,
I feel like, how many times can I answer questions about testosterone?
seriously, like if you guys want.
I know that's what people want, so I'm
Like,
answering
mix it
them.
up. Thanks, that was bad.
I like that question. The watching porn is cheating. That's hilarious.
So we're gonna close out with that one, and if none of those are do or die, and I know there are probably people that are gonna be mad. I bet you.
I don't think any of them are about BPJ at all.
It's hard to fit. I mean, every single question to.
Last week we only had like
isn't it?
7. This time we had like 20.
There's
See,
another
this
one we've
is
answered
good,
a million
so they can roll
times.
over.
Like,
Then roll over to the next.
yeah, these are all questions that we've already answered. Honestly.
So guys, if we're not answering them today, I will decide if they need to be specifically answered. And if you're somebody that watches my Q&A, come to my Q&A. I feel like we got the ones that really did need to be answered, and we're going to close out with this sex-based question. And the other ones, if need be, will be added to the next podcast.
So now I want to know if cheating on your girlfriend can be considered something like just watching porn. What happens if she watches it with you? Is that a threesome?
Yeah, it all cancels each other out. It's like offsetting penalties in a football game.
Oh.
You just redo the down.
Back to first down. Nobody cheated. Try again. That's hilarious, though. I could not imagine.
I would
that
honestly,
way.
if I wouldn't. I have had a couple girls that felt that way, and I was like, me and you are not going to work out.
But did they like? Would they be home and you'd be watching it instead of being with them?
Sometimes though you get to that point though. Like if you're like dieting really hard, or if you're just not having it that day, and you're like, look, I'm really tired. I just need a little bit of time to myself. I got to do me for a minute.
I think you've touched on this before with the
especially if you've had sex with her like 10,000 times. If it's like the first month in, and you're in that honeymoon stage and you're doing it, that's a little weird. Because that's when you're going to be wanting to learn about each other and explore and do all that fun stuff. If you're like a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years deep, married for a while, and you're like, look, honey, I'm sorry, I had a really bad day, I'm tired, my hip hurts. I don't even know if I'm going to get it up all the way, but I'm going to try to rub one out real quick.
You're not that old yet, PJ.
I'm giving you a real life example for
fine.
someone else.
Okay, fine.
That is perfectly fine and not cheating. In fact, I know wives that tell their husbands to jerk off when they're tired. I know wives, plenty of wives, they're like, please go watch porn or something, I'm tired.
Let me
I've been dealing with the kids all day.
Let me ask you guys this question.
Jimmy beat up somebody in school. I had to go talk to the principal.
Jimmy was jacking off in his class.
He was just like
He was watching porn like you. You're wondering where he got
Are
it from.
guys telling the truth if they say that they don't do that?
All right,
They're lying.
that's
They're
great.
such liars.
So
yes.
this is something that should just be known by every woman and every person on this planet, whether you're a young man who doesn't know or whether you're a girl who doesn't know. But straight up, any man who has a penis on this planet, if he says that he never has or he doesn't anymore, he's a fucking liar.
Yep.
He's a fucking
He's a liar.
It is.
Sometimes you do it and you don't even realize you're doing it.
It's like crack.
That's how I know he's lying.
It's like crack. You don't discover that at whatever age and just decide, oh, today's the day I'm gonna quit. For what? For what reason would you need to quit? There isn't one. So any man saying that is absolutely full of it, and he's trying to make himself seem like a cool guy.
Yeah, because I love you so much.
Yeah.
In fact, you know what? You should get rid of that guy. Because not only does he not love you enough, he's a fucking liar too. And who wants to be with a liar?
Exactly.
If he loved you enough, he'd be honest with you.
My favorite was like the guys that are like, oh, I would do that. I would be doing that. I'm like, you're gay then.
I'm so insecure. I don't have time for doing that. No, I will say a lot of guys, you'll get in like a exciting new relationship where you'll have so much sex that your jerking goes way, way down.
You don't need to.
You don't need to because you're tired from all the sex.
So that's
you
how I
still get your
wanna
jerks
tell.
in here and there though.
Yeah.
You know, you'll have a day.
Like you were talking about, like when the cleaning lady found your computer.
Yeah.
You're like, you got to get those 5 a.m. jerk sessions in around your girl because you got to be with her later, so you got to get those in when you can.
Yeah.
So I mean, like
she knew she actually cleaned the house even better the next time, and I think it was based on that.
Yeah. Well, she wanted to see if she could watch it with you.
Yeah. She was like, sir.
She's like, sir, I cleaned off the desk very good.
I like to.
She was into that video that you had.
She was.
Very nice picture.
Sorry.
So I guess we'll close it out like we always do.
We're gonna all go cheat on our spouses and partners.
Let's all just go cheat by watching some.
I do most of my cheating very early in the morning.
So is Pornhub like then in that sense to her, would it be considered like that Ashley Madison website that was like for?
No, that is for cheating specifically.
Right, but so if she thinks that porn is cheating, then Pornhub has got to be like the same thing as that.
I mean, if a chick told me that, there's no way it would work out. Like I had a girl like that one time, and she said it one time, and I was like, yeah, me and you are not gonna work out.
I would just never again speak another word to her.
We're not gonna work out.
Did you say just watch it with me, you'll be fine? Or
I told her she could absolutely watch it with me, and if you want me to reenact what's going on the screen, we'll do that stuff too. I had a real crazy girl one time, this is a hilarious story that we can close out with, that at first was like, oh, I don't watch porn, and I was like, that's too bad because I fucking love porn, excuse my language. And she was like, why? And I was explaining why I like it, whatever. And she was really against it, and I was like, I don't know if you're gonna work out. And she was like, also, she was a very jealous like Spanish girl, and so one day she was like, I really want to watch porn with you, and I was like, really? And she was like, yeah, I want to watch porn with you. I think it would be hot. And I was like, fuck yeah. But it was also like, I was always also like, huh, where'd this come from? You know, she was so against it for so long. So I was like, what do you want to watch? And she was like, what do you want to watch? And I was like, oh, you're gonna leave the ball in my court, huh? So I was like, well, we'll start out with some like mild stuff. I'm like, this is a girl who I enjoy to watch perform. It was like Lisa Ann or somebody like that. I was in my Lisa Ann phase, and
she was like, you look at other women that
like
are
everybody was. Well, then so then she was like, so you like her the most? And I was like, banging her doggy style, and I was just like, watch, just watch. And she was like, oh, do you want me to fuck you like her? And just kept saying weird questions like that.
She pulled out a giant stick.
Yeah, so then it started fucking me up, and I was like, is this a weird trick? Like, she's sucking me in, she's baiting me with all these questions, and it was ruining the sex. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. She was like, why? I want to see what you like. I go, the way that you're asking each step, she's like, do you want me to suck your dick like that? Is that what you would like? Because I don't do it like that.
She was talking dirty to you. Why didn't you just see that?
No, that's not talking dirty.
Asking fucking questions.
She was quizzing me on how good of a guy I was.
Can you just shut up and watch it already?
Now, it was just the way that she was watching. She was like, so that's how she rides, and that's what you like, right? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, because I don't like to ride like that. So I guess you don't like the way I ride. And I was like, no, you're good too. I'm just showing you something different. Let's watch a different scene. It's
called variety.
I thought you said you ride or die.
Yeah.
Most of us die, apparently.
Yeah.
Anyway, I already had other stories in my head, and I was like, nah, let's not tell any more of these stories.
I actually have a hilarious story for you that I'm going to leave when we're off the air, because we're going to end this the way we always do, with a peace out bye.
Peace out.
Peace out, bye.